Hello everyone, today we're going to break down acoustic folk cinematic music with acoustic guitars, acoustic piano, cellos, strings, so everything's supposed to be acoustic, like creating this gentle, emotional, atmospheric sound, good fit for wedding videos, some emotional moments, some memorable events, so some romantic scenes, some love stories, some inspiring quotes, some philosophical content for nature views, so some gentle, light, touching, grateful and thankful background music for such event. Okay, let's have a listen and then I will show you what I have inside, which instrument I use to create such music. Okay, so I just showed you all the part. So this is basically MIDI, all the track written using just MIDI, no any audio samples. I know that all the libraries is already sampled, but still all the part I created by myself just using keyboard and play all the libraries, all the instruments as MIDI. So I didn't chop up any loops, so I'm just using only my creativity and trying to combine all the parts together by creating every individual part itself. So okay, let's go from the beginning. We have the structure is depends. There is some intro, but still it's just like a nominal intro, just only 4 bars. Okay, then we can call it build up, but still this is just slowly the story unfolding. Again, this is a very cinematic music, and you can imagine, as for my example, I can imagine some family story or some child growth or some story of some person, or maybe just family album, like when parents or grandparents were young, so all the story begins from the young age, and then they got married and they got kids, and they kids since young become adult and then also got kids, and etc etc. So I just see like a movie, some melodrama or some beautiful family story unfolding, but you can imagine your own story in your head. This is just an example as I see. So this is like little build up, story slowly unfolding here. And from this point we can call it like climax. So it's like most memorable, emotional and most beautiful part of the track. Start from here. Okay, and here I make it even more enhanced, emphasized and more bright and colorful, just emphasizing the previous part, but added some guitar theme to make it different and make it outstanding out of previous one. So it makes changes. There are like 4 parts in here. I would not count the intro because it's like too short. So for example, we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So, and I try to be different at least a bit in every part. Okay, let's go. We have guitar, evolution steel strings. So always work good for me in mix. Guitars, spread it to different channels like in stereo. Yeah, just to create some subtle differences. Cellos coming from Omnisphere. Scoring organic, cello mutes shimmer. Piano, Alicia Keys. By the way, free cello, Pocket Blackus. Sounds great, in mix especially. Some choir. Altos. So acoustic guitar. Yes, Efimov Nylon. Use some pad Omnisphere. Stradivari violin. F-Flatus. Violin, by the way, free also. Logic stock bass. as you might see, we can use libraries. So if you can play real acoustic guitar very professionally, you can record it and make it sounds like a real guitar. I'm very happy for you. This is great. But if you cannot, for example, I'm professional pianist, I cannot play solo acoustic guitar. I can play some chords, it's okay, but when regarding solo or some beautiful patterns or riffs, so we have to make it very rhythmically, very professionally, to catch feeling, to make it sounds like a real guitar. So for example, I cannot make professionally sounding guitar performance. That's why I'm using libraries. But once you put it in the mix, you can tweak some knobs. You can figure out how to make it sound decent while using just guitar library. You have to know the libraries, you have to know how to mix it, how to perfectly put it within other different instruments, and then these library guitars make sound even realistic. So sometimes you won't able to differentiate it between like maybe this like mix with live guitars or libraries, or maybe it's only live guitars. So this is the way you have to make this sound decent, and in terms of live sounds you have to come to it very seriously and try to avoid your guitar sounds like immediate. So that's why you have to know the library. Just for my opinion, these few libraries, for example, I showed already before. This Evolution Steel String one, another is Picket Nylon, so a native instrument, Ilya Efimov nylon guitar. Then we have one more here, Picket Nylon, the same. Yes, and we have Omnisphere acoustic guitar, Omnisphere 3 acoustic guitar, classic nylon Quartet Studio. It sounds like this. Yes, it sounds a bit like Corpsicorp, it sounds a bit like some clavinola or something, but once you put it in the mix and you're using another guitar, so in combination with different libraries, it can like create illusion or some effects that's playing like a real guitar, especially when you produce background stock music. I'm not telling that if you're an artist and you produce like instrumental guitar music and you just can use libraries, so maybe it's not the right way. Maybe better to perform and play real guitar as you an artist. But once you produce just stock music for background, for using it just as supporting part of some videos, I think it can be decent, it can be sound decent. Very positive, emotional and life-affirming ending, so everything gonna be fine, like inspiring, some solid ending. So in C major, yeah, I talk about the outro. So this is it. I basically showed you all the instrument. I use Kontakt instrument, I use Omnisphere basically for all my strings. There are a few strings from Kontakt libraries as well. A piano, the same, I use it everywhere. Alicia Keys, it sounds great. It's an old library, as I remember, but still it's sounding very realistic and modern nowadays. So I still be using further, and as I still using it now. Sounds great. So what else? I think I showed you all the instrumentation regarding cymbals. Yes, this is a damaged cymbals, so it sounds like this. Yes, and yeah, I didn't show you the pizzicato violas, but this is a stock Logic instrument. Yeah. So, as you see, I'm using as Logic stock instrument together with Omnisphere instrument and Kontakt library. This is all my instrumentation. Regarding mixing and mastering, it's very simple. I use preset in Pro Q, some presets. I just modify them, just changing them. For example, here. AC guitar through mix. So I just changing, see if it fits my expectation, how it's supposed to be sound in my particular mix. Here the same. Basically, you can use presets in your EQ. You can even use stock Logic EQ, use some presets, but still you can make some changes there. Trust your ears, and yeah, just play around with it. And most important, always cut off the low frequencies which you cannot hear, but there is a signal in there. So for example, I just show you. Yep. Okay, here you see this signal. So you just have to cut off it, because you don't need the signal to be presented in your mix, because it creates some matte, some unnecessary signal. Regarding compression, so yes, same, just use a little bit compression in every track. Yeah, just a little bit. It has to be compressed on all the tracks. Yes, and mastering, it's also quite simple. Use presets in your mastering plugin. As for my plugin, I use Ozone. So cut off 20 Hz. A bit saturation. Thick and low preset in Ozone. Ultra maximizer or limiter L2. And check your levels. Do not be too extreme and too harsh with your levels. Leave some space for editors to make it even more louder once they edit in music or put it to their content as supporting part, and just leave some space. Don't be so strict with your mixes, and do not try to make it as loud as possible. This is just my opinion. Okay, basically this is it. I showed you everything. If you have any questions, please write a comment, so I will answer any comments. Basically this is it. Thank you very much for watching till the end. See you in the next videos. Bye bye.